Ladies and gentlemen, hi, it's David Ruff, and I'm coming to you from Toronto, Canada, and we're talking about civil unrest today. It is a massive problem. It's going to be happening in half the countries of the world. And how does this affect you, your real estate, your property, your jobs, your family? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get right into it. If we jump down into the article of the day, I want you to go look this up. If you feel like you would like to, you can go to Insider, businessinsider.com. The risk of civil unrest surging in more of half of the world's countries. Half of the world's countries. There is only 200 and some countries on earth, but they're saying half of them are going into civil unrest. Oh my God. So, what on earth does civil unrest mean? It says here that you can see the picture there where all the police are lined up in Sri Lanka. And it says the world is bound for more disruption and unrest in the next 6 months, the intelligence system has warned. Its analysis said that the risk of civil unrest has increased in 101 of the 198 countries it tracked. Do you hear that? 191 of 108 countries. It cited inflation and energy and food. All the crises linked to the war in Ukraine as key factors. It's talking about energy, food, and inflation. And regardless of where you are, regardless of whatever country that you're in, those three things are affecting you no matter where you live. It doesn't really matter where. Now, some countries, the inflation hit faster. In some countries, it hits slower. The fact is that inflation, food, and energy is the basis for our lives and what is hurting us right now. And if you take away inflation, that is just a monetary phenomenon. But food and energy are the two things that we have needed since the dawn of time, whether it was firewood and cooking on firewood or it's gas. We have conversations with people all the time that will tell me that, oh, David, I don't drive very much, so I don't need any gas. Really? Half the things in your house is made of plastic, which is made from fuel related projects, petroleum products. Everything that you bought came on a truck. You know what I mean? The building that you're in is using gas to heat itself. So gas is the energy that runs the world. Are we saying, though, that gas should be the thing that lasts forever? Now, a lot of these ESG movements, so environmental, social, governance, those things, are kicking off a lot of these things that have started. So if we look in Sri Lanka in 2019, they ran on the platform that they would be able to do the ESG, environmental, social, governance, and be the world leader. Okay, so that is great. I think that's a wonderful thing, right? But you didn't have a plan B. So the environment, everyone's talking about it, global warming. I don't think it's a good idea to light fires, right? And burn fuel and cook the atmosphere. That's a bad thing. So I think it's a great idea to move away from that. But we can't just say no fuel if we don't have something else to do. If you cut off all the fuel 100% today, it's great for the environment, but most people would die, no food, no heat. So you were talking billions could die. That doesn't work either, right? So I think we should be channeling money into figuring out better ways to produce power that is not going to be environmentally harmful. A weird thing when it comes to organic farming, we cannot produce as much yield. It produces one third the food crop. So now all of a sudden, organic sounds great, but now I have to farm 3 times the amount of land. And there isn't enough land on earth to make enough food for everybody organically. So it just kind of bends my brain a little bit. Every time that I find that we can find a solution, it creates all these other headaches. So it's not simple. It's very dynamic. There's a lot of issues that we have to deal with, right? And so that picture in Sri Lanka, if we go and look at it, that picture that was here, right? Sri Lanka started this in 2019, and within what was it? I think they were elected in 2020. Within 2 years, the whole country has collapsed. They cannot pay their debts. They cannot have food. They have zero food, zero fuel. And anybody knows that those things, when you put that together, that is a recipe for absolute disaster. And a lot of other countries are barreling towards that right now. So, man, we got a lot of work to do. right? Tons of work to do. So, how does that affect the rest of the world? Well, we have a lot of countries that are on the same movement. When that happens and country after country gets smacked down, once we have more and more smackdowns in all these different countries, housing markets are going to fall. And housing markets are generally the biggest market in these countries. Why is it such a big market? They're the most expensive item that you're going to buy in your life. And there's a lot of money that has to be used in order to do it properly between realtors and lawyers and stagers and photographers and all the other things that come with it. Graphic designers and web builders for it. It generates a lot of cash. And so when that market tumbles, I mean, everything else is going to be tumbling too. We're not even talking about people foreclosing on their homes and everything. So, this has this is the biggest domino to fall, right? And as that falls, and we have 100 countries that could fall there, that article was saying that there's over 100 countries at risk of falling. When that happens, a lot of homes could go down. That means your home, my home, could be losing a lot of value. Farm boy, how are you? A population built on oil will only survive on oil. I don't know how I feel about that, bro. So you mean because I grew up driving a gas powered car that I can only survive based on oil? Like, does that mean if we transfer to smart technology, I got to get killed? I got to get bumped off? I don't know. You let me know. I want to know what you think. Um, there's a lot of things that are happening in real estate these days, and we want to keep on top of it. I am putting myself out there and I'm going to have to eat my own shirt, man, if I'm wrong. There's a lot of people saying September, October, November, and they're out there with their pom poms. Give me an A, give me an R. Like they're super excited, right? Real estate's going to be amazing. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't see what they're seeing. Every time that they say that it's going to be going good, it's because of something that they have seen in the history books. Well, every September things get better. Every August, the stock market goes down. Okay, well, this isn't every September. Okay, this is a different September, man. There's a massive war, massive shortages, and the global supply lines are breaking down. When we're building properties, or if you're renovating them, we can't get a hold of machines or shingles or roof trusses or anything. Fridges you can't get. Everything is so backed up. We can't get a hold of anything. So we have a lot of problems that are happening right now. So I think the real estate market will continue to go down. It's not a popular opinion. Not everyone agrees with that, but I think that's the way it is. I look at data all over the place, all over the world. We read this every single day, and I can't see any reason why it's not going to continue its fall from grace. And as a general rule, because everyone's calling me, emailing me, texting me all of their different individual cities, the easiest way to think about it is the farther you leave town, right? The more that the prices had went up during the pandemic. So the inner suburbs around most cities had skyrocketed. I mean, like 30% per year for 2 years. So those are the ones most susceptible to get rocked and prices to come down. In addition, in the cities, the bigger homes, those homes will get hit bad. You're talking about the homes that are 3 million, the expensive homes. Those ones are at risk of losing a lot of money. But if, say, you were way out in the boonies or something and had a farm, let's hope you had a farm, right? Agriculture is going to do amazing. If you had something like that, it's probably not going to change price. Or say you were in a C-class city and then you had properties there, you most likely are not going to see a big decrease in price there. Melnya, how are you, buddy? Melnya? I think that's how to say it. Tell me if I said it right. Hopefully. Thanks very much for coming on. If you have any questions on YouTube, if you have any questions on TikTok, you can fire them away. So listen, you guys, civil unrest is a massive problem. It's going to be coming for you, whether you like it or not. It's going to affect your jobs. If countries collapse, obviously you're not going to have a job anymore, which means that you're not going to be able to get your food or energy anymore, which means you're not going to be able to pay your bills, which means you're going to lose your house. It's this like negative doom loop as things keep dropping, right? So you have to be careful. You have to be very, very careful. But if you have a bigger house in the inner suburbs, or you have a bigger house in a city, it's something that you should be thinking about selling. as the prices continue to slide down, and then pick it up a year from now at much discounted prices. This fall, there are tens of thousands of Canadians that are running into their trigger rates, and the trigger rates are going to be affecting the United States to the tune of hundreds of thousands per month. And once that hits, we could be seeing a foreclosure like we haven't seen since back in 2009. So I think that we're into some really really touchy times. I think you got to be very, very careful. Think of unloading something like that and focus on getting your skill set sharp. Start reading books, man. Start reading fun books. This is the book that I read the last on Tom Wheelwright. Read your books, get your mind straight, open a business, start investing into things like gold and silver. Silver is so cheap right now. So cheap right now. Anyway, remember to like, subscribe, follow me. Let me know if you like this stuff. I'll keep making videos about it. And if you don't, let me know as well.